welcome to my channel. My name is Venus and this is the start of a new reading vlog. Today is Monday, October 2nd. I am so excited. It is finally fall, officially October, my birthday month. I just can't wait to read all of the spooky books, watch spooky movies, all the pumpkin, everything. So perfect time to start vlogging again. I have a lot of books to choose from and I have no idea what I want to read this week. I have a couple of options. This could totally change at any point, but so far this is what I am hoping to read. First up is Maeve Fly by CJ Leede. This is going to be my monster pick prompt for the Halloween readathon. I'm going to start reading this on Thursday. The readathon goes from Thursday to Sunday every weekend in October, so this will be my book that I plan to read this weekend. It's pretty short and I have the audiobook on Scribd, so it might not take me that long to get through, and I actually started reading it a little bit already and I love it. Yeah, I got up to page 25. This I can tell is probably going to be potentially a 5-star read. Maeve Fly, that is her name. She already seems a little unhinged. Works as a Disney type princess at, they don't say it's Disney, but pretty much like a Disneyland in California. This book has been compared to American Psycho, which I have never seen. I'm also wanting to watch a bunch of spooky movies this year, so I think I'm actually gonna watch American Psycho today. If you hear nails, that's my dog. She's moving around. So we have hardwood floors, so she cannot sneak up on you, trust me. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna watch American Psycho tonight. Last night, October 1st, we watched The Gate. So I am a Patreon of Kelsey from Slime and Slashers, and she did this really cool watch-a-thon on her channel on Discord, and somebody had mentioned in the chat that they had watched The Gate from the 80s, and I used to love that movie. I think I was like 10 years old when it came out. I forced my husband and daughter to watch it last night. Needless to say, they did not enjoy it that much. I felt very nostalgic and I had a blast. Of course it was corny. Of course I was like cringing at parts, but it still was fun. Yeah, so this is the book that I plan to read starting on Thursday for that readathon. Today, I think I'm going to focus on Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell. I opened it up and read the first 2 pages and I can already tell I'm gonna love it. It is perfect to start right now in October. It takes place in a pumpkin patch. There's these 2 teenage seniors that work in a pumpkin patch every single year together. This is their last year working there because they're both seniors and they're going off to college next year. It has just all the vibes and I am so excited to read this. Middle grade option, Small Spaces by Katherine Arden. I actually don't know too much about this. I just love the cover and I know this is a series. I'm trying to see if I can get this on audio so I can listen to it, but I'm having a hard time. So I might have to read this with my eyes, which is totally fine. But I like to multitask, you know, and this will probably be a quick read. Another option is You Again, just because this cover is so giving me fall vibes. And this is by Kate Goldbeck. I heard that it's kind of When Harry Met Sally retelling, which is another movie I want to watch this month because I have not seen that in decades. I like the Goodreads description because it's short and sweet. Can they stop hating each other long enough to fall in love? A commitment phobe and a hopeless romantic clash over and over again until heartbreak and unexpected chemistry bring them together in this clever enemies to friends to lovers debut romance. So I'm gonna try to read this. This is really long. Yeah, it's like, I think it's over 400 pages. So I figured I would at least get this started, and then if I don't like it, you know what I do, I DNF. So I want to at least get this started to see if I'm gonna like it. And then another romance book that I want to try to read is Fall Into Temptation by Lucy Score. This is available on Kindle Unlimited. I kind of started reading it a little bit last night while I was in bed. It's on my Kindle, and I typically read my Kindle before I fall asleep. From what I'm getting, it's a mayor of this small town, and the setting is in October, and there's a new woman that's moved in, and she is a single mom to 2 kids, and she also opened a local, or took over the contract or lease for a local yoga studio. The main male love interest is like out jogging at night, runs by her studio and sees her doing like a headstand split or something. So he's already seems to be captivated, and I'm hoping that this is an insta-love because I can't stand that. please don't let me have to DNF another romance. But that is an option as well. So I am currently on my lunch break. I am going to make lunch and probably dig into Pumpkinheads, and I will check in with you guys later. Hello, it is Tuesday afternoon. I am on my lunch break and I just wanted to check in with you guys. Last night I finished Pumpkinheads. I had such a great time with this book. It is so perfect to read if you need to get into the fall spirit, because it has all the fall vibes. We follow Josie and Deja on their last day working at a pumpkin patch together after working for the last 4 years. They're both seniors, going off to college next year. Deja has decided to help Josie finally talk to this girl that he has been obsessing over for the last 4 years. He's never talked to her, but he has this massive crush on her. So they go on this huge adventure to try to finally get him to talk to her, and every time they get to a station in the pumpkin patch where she's supposedly working, she has been like either moved on to another section or she has wanted to go and try like a hayride or something. And it's really cute. I loved the ending. It was so adorable and I had a great time with this. This is the second kind of graphic novel type book that I've ever read outside of Archie. And I really, really enjoyed it. The illustrations in this were absolutely beautiful. I love the diversity of the characters. And I highly recommend it if you need something to get you in the fall mood. So after I finished that, I jumped right into another book, Fall into Temptation by Lucy Score. This is a fall romance, and I DNF'd it today. Oh my gosh. I am struggling so bad with romance. Guys, I used to read a lot of romance books. I promise you. I know my channel is mostly like fantasy and horror and thrillers, but I did read a lot of romance, and normally I don't have these many issues. But yeah, so this one I got into about 54 to 60 pages. Beckett, the mayor of this small town, and Gianna is the new single mom that's moved into his guest house that's like behind his big mansion that he lives in. And she also works in the yoga studio. Again, just like a previous fall book I tried to read, just because you mention that it's fall maybe twice does not make it a fall book. I'm sorry. Like, I need more atmosphere. So that's one thing that was missing. I mean, now granted, I only got 54 pages in, so it could have gotten better after that. That's part of the reason I didn't like it, but a main part of it is they immediately are like ready to like kiss each other, and I'm like, can we get some kind of build up? Gianna is having her like ribbon cutting ceremony for her yoga studio, and Beckett is the mayor, so he's there to cut the ribbon with her. And she's missing. No one can find her. So he goes to try to find where she is. She's locked in the bathroom in her yoga studio. He gets her out and she immediately jumps out and kisses him on the mouth. Like, they don't even know each other. And I'm like, who does that? So that was another thing. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hang in there because I'm trying not to be the romance grouch. And then I kept reading, and then another thing happens where they somehow were at a dinner party. Oh, because her father is dating his mother. So that's already kind of weird to me, because technically if that happens, they would like be step siblings or something. Anyway, so they're at a dinner thing, and then they're standing on the stairs or somewhere, I don't know, and he practically bends down and almost kisses her. Meanwhile, they have like had barely any conversations with each other. They do not know each other. Why? So at that point I was done. I'm sorry. I can't. I need some kind of build up. I need to get invested in the characters. I need some like, making me like swoon, and this had none of that. I'm sorry. I DNF'd that one. If that sounds like kind of like what you like though, like insta love, then definitely pick this one out. And a sprinkle of fall, then please check it out. It was not for me though. So another DNF of a romance book. Last night I also watched American Psycho for the first time, and that was interesting. It has Christian Bale in it. It takes place like in the 80s. I think it was filmed in the 2000, like the year 2000. It takes place in the 80s. He's like this Wall Street yuppie who is obsessed with like wealth and being well known, and then he also has a other side of him that is a serial killer. And it was odd. It was a very odd movie. And I know it's like a cult classic. I, once again, wrangled my husband into watching this, another movie with me, and he did not like it at all. Thank God my 16-year-old was doing homework, because we usually do watch movies together at night, and this movie had a lot of like sex in it, so that would have been very uncomfortable. I thought it was okay. I think I'm gonna give it like out of a 5-star, like 3.5. Christian Bale had a lot of monologues in it that were just really long, and they were getting kind of weird and not entertaining. It was kind of cringy. Horror part of it, like the killings, that was pretty well done, and he did have kind of like a breakdown, like a mental breakdown at one point that I think he did really, really well with. Outside of that, it's not something that I feel like I would want to watch every year, so yeah, so a DNF and a kind of disappointing movie. So today I think I'm gonna watch something a little bit more lighthearted. I'm thinking Corpse's Bride. That's one of my favorites, so I think I might watch that. We also have a horror movie puzzle that we need to get started, so we can get that finished before Halloween. I might save that for the weekend though, I'm not sure. I need to pick another book to read. So I think I'm gonna go with some middle grade. So I'm gonna pick this one up, Small Spaces by Katherine Arden. I'm hoping I like it. Please give me something that's gonna bring me joy. So this will be my next read. I will check in with you guys later. Wednesday morning, and I've got some Dunkin'. Are you team Dunkin' or Starbucks? Or both? I kind of rotate. I like them both. Although I drink decaf coffee, so I can't really compare the caffeine. So I am just making some breakfast, and I wanted to talk about Small Spaces that I started last night. This book so far has the best fall imagery and descriptions, and it's got this like spooky vibe to it, and I'm loving it so much. And Olivia, the main character, seems like such a cool character so far. I'm not very far into it, but I'm intrigued by her. She's 11 years old. She's very witty. There was a bully situation in her school, and she jumped in to help the girl that was being bullied, and I loved that so much. Still not sure where the story is going. I'm making turkey bacon, so you can probably hear that popping. I'm sorry. Not sure yet where the story is going, but I, like I said, love all the imagery, the descriptions, the writing. I'm really, really enjoying it so far. Last night I did watch Corpse's Bride. I love that movie. So fun. Another movie my husband has no desire to watch. I watched that one by myself. And yeah, so I'm gonna finish making breakfast. I'm gonna try to finish Small Spaces today. It's not very long, it's middle grade. So I'm gonna try to finish that today, and then tomorrow I'm going to jump into the Halloween Weekend readathon because it starts on Thursdays, and I will be reading Maeve Fly. So I will check in with you guys later. check in. So I did finish Small Spaces and I loved this book. It was so cute. I'm giving it 4 stars. This book is perfect for this time of year. It's creepy. It's got creepy scarecrows. The writing, like I mentioned earlier, is so atmospheric. It's very enjoyable. I loved Ollie, the main character. She's so feisty. She's going through some grieving. So there is grief mentioned in this book, so if you have any triggers, please make sure you check that out. After she stood up to a bully for one of her classmates, she wandered off to this local like water hole or lake where she sees this woman who's crying, trying to throw this book into the lake, and she grabs it because she is like shocked that this woman is throwing away a book because Allie likes to read, and she runs off with it. And when she gets home, she sees that the title of it is called Small Spaces, and she starts reading it, and it's about this woman and these 2 brothers who are basically fighting over her, and one of the brothers ends up getting injured tragically, and so the other brother tries to bargain for his life with this man or creature called the Smiling Man. And the story is being told within a story. It's like a book within a book, and it's creepy, like I said, and I loved it so much. So from there, Allie has a school trip the next day at a farm, and at the farm, the owner of the farm is actually the woman that she took the book from. And then it gets creepier from there. She stumbles across some gravestones that actually have the names of the 3 individuals that she's reading about in the Small Spaces book. Highly recommend this if you're into middle grade horror. It was super cute. The only reason it's not a 5-star is the pacing was a little uneven for me. I did struggle at a couple points where it was just kind of dragging. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. So it's Thursday, so it's the start of another Halloween readathon. I will be reading Maeve Fly tonight, and I'm about 25 pages into it already. I think I mentioned before, and I'm loving it so far. Can't wait to do the comparisons between this and American Psycho, so we'll see if I see any similarities. So that's the plan for tonight. And then also over the weekend, I want to start getting into You Again. I did plan to rewatch When Harry Met Sally because I haven't seen it in so long, because I'm also going to compare that movie to this book because they've been compared to each other. So I'm interested to see the similarities. So those are the plans for now. Yeah, other than that, I'm just working. It's a typical boring Thursday, and I'm looking forward to Friday. I'll check back in later. Finished Maeve Fly, and I'm going to give it 4 stars. I really enjoyed the ending. Most of all, let's talk about the things that I did not like. The pacing was very slow. Most of the book, I was thinking I was going to give it 3 stars. So the main character, Maeve, spoke about, she works at this Disneyland-like type place where she is one of the frozen princesses. She works with another woman named Kate, and they are friends. And Maeve also has a grandmother that is very sick that she is taking care of. These are the 2 most important people in her life. Maeve is harboring a lot of rage. Kate's brother, Gideon, comes to visit. Gideon senses the rage inside of Maeve, and they form a type of bond, we'll say. The vibes in this book are very LA. Maeve talks a lot about different places in Los Angeles, like Sunset Boulevard, the Viper Room. So you definitely have a lot of LA vibes in this. So much so that she goes off on tangents, which is part of the reason why the pacing is so all over the place, because she goes off on these tangents very similar to American Psycho, which, by the way, I'm an idiot because I had no idea American Psycho was a book and not just a movie. I did not know that, so I found that out this week. I can speak on the movie, not the book. Maeve definitely goes off on these tangents, just like in the movie when Christian Bale gives all his monologues. I can see where this definitely borrowed from, speaking on the movie, borrowed parts from that. Maeve also loves Halloween, so this is a perfect time to read this book because Maeve has a very creative way of making Halloween decorations. I'll just say that. There were 2 quotes that I wanted to read out of this book that I thought were really, really good. And they're not spoilers. It's just kind of, it gives you a taste of how Maeve thinks. It says, "I have never understood and still do not understand the notion that a woman must first endure a victimhood of some sort, abandonment, abuse, oppression of the patriarchy to be monstrous. Men have always been permitted in fiction and in life to simply be what they are, no matter how dark or terrifying that may be. But with a woman, we expect an answer, a reason. But why would she do it? Why? And this is a part where she talks about why she loves Halloween. She says, "I love Halloween because all the time, everyone wears masks. But one night a year, they do it openly. The dark and forbidden things they wish to be, but deny themselves. On Halloween, they don't. On Halloween, they embrace it, all of it. The hidden parts of the world are exposed, if only for one night, and those things that are truly dark are a little less alone. And it is enough. It has to be." So the writing in this is very, very good. There's just parts, like I said, that just drag on, and it took up to like 90 pages for the first kill, I'll say. But I'm trying not to spoil anything, but obviously we know this is a horror book, so there's going to be some killing. So I think, yeah, like 90 pages to get to the first kill. Then it was a whole long another section where Maeve, you're getting to know Maeve and Kate and her brother, and lots of talking about Los Angeles, parts about Halloween. Kate brings up a lot of music. Parts of it just really dragged on, but the last like 50 pages were absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And that's what brought my rating up to a 4 star. So I'm actually going to buy this book. This is a library book, but I would absolutely read this again. This is not a book for everyone. Last part of the book gets very, very gruesome. There's a very violent sex scene in this as well, where Maeve gets a little crazy with something. And that's all I'll say. If you like kind of weird, out there, crazy, gruesome books, if you liked American Psycho, then you will definitely like this book. So I'm giving it 4 stars, and now I need to read something to cleanse my palate because, like I said, the last part of that book is very gruesome, and I need something a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more lovey-dovey. So we are trying a romance. So I already took the cover off, but this is You Again by Kate Goldbeck. So I'm going to start reading this today. It's another gloomy day here in Maryland, so not much to do, and this will be the last book for this vlog, so I'm hoping to finish it this weekend. And yeah, those are my plans. It's Friday, so I'm not really doing too much. Gonna hang out at home, maybe watch Coraline. I have never seen that movie, and 2 of my daughters love it. It's one of their favorite movies, and I've never seen it, so I might watch that with my youngest tonight. We will see. So until then, later. I actually finished You Again. I finished a romance. Yay! Yay! Finished a romance, finally, and I'm giving it 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed this book. Even though it was over 400 pages, I still had a really great time with this. So this is about Ari. She is an up-and-coming comedian trying to make a life in New York. She is bisexual. She is not really into the thought of monogamy. She's very open with her sexuality. She does not believe in like happy ever after or marriage or anything like that. And then there is Josh, who is the complete opposite. He is a chef in New York. He's also the son of the owner of a very popular deli in New York City. And he's just very anal. He definitely believes in monogamy, soulmates, and happy ever after, complete opposite of Ari. In the very first page, they have an interaction and they quickly do not like each other. Then they bump into each other again because they are both, I don't want to say dating because Ari isn't necessarily dating this woman, but having relations with the same woman. And then it jumps 4 years forward and then 4 years again. And so it is very similar to When Harry Met Sally. And they both have their own kind of, life issues that they're dealing with. Initially, the first couple of times they meet each other, they don't really like each other. And then also very similar to When Harry Met Sally, the whole conversation is, can men or men and women be friends platonically without any kind of sexual relationship. And that topic is also explored in the book. And I just loved the journey. I don't think it's going to be for everyone because it is a very slow burn. They are really developing their friendship after despising each other. They both kind of go through breakups and end up leaning on each other to get through them. And I just loved it. The banter is absolutely hilarious. I laughed out loud multiple times. Ari is hilarious. Josh with his like anxiety and type A personality is also very funny. Of course, their relationship is blossoming. So that part is it's exactly what I was looking for every time I DNF'd a romance. I like romance books like this, but I also like the ones where there is kind of a quicker development, not insta-love, but a quicker development. But this one, I don't know, I just really enjoyed the writing. I think this is this author's debut book as well, so I will definitely read more books from her. And I just had a great time with it, and I'm so happy that I finally found a romance book that I enjoyed. A couple reasons why I didn't give it 5 stars is because Ari is extremely infuriating. Yes, we know that you don't believe in relationships, but there comes a point, kind of like that third act conflict where it's like, how long are you going to be like this? So that kind of got infuriating. It is a very long book. Although for the length of it, I didn't really mind it because I did really like the characters. There are side characters in this that I enjoyed. I teared up a couple times. There are 2 songs mentioned in this book, older songs, I want to say from the 80s, that I actually listened to when they were mentioned, and they were perfect songs that went along with this book. And yeah, I had a great time with it. So I definitely recommend it if that sounds interesting to you. As far as the fall vibes, because it's cover. I mean, they mentioned fall, but for this book, because I liked the character so much, I wasn't upset fall wasn't like a main backdrop in this. It actually changes seasons. Honestly, when I think of this book, I think more of New Year's Eve because there are like 3 or 4 New Year's Eves that they spend together. I enjoyed it, so definitely check it out if that sounds like something you're interested in. And that is the end of this vlog. Thank you as always for hanging out with me. Please hit that like and subscribe button. And leave me, let's see, what can we comment down below? Let me know what has been your favorite romance book so far this year, because now I'm in the mood for romance. So if you read romance, please list that below, and I will see you guys again soon. See ya.